all begins with one simple personal story. When I was young, I often took other people's perspectives about me as a great part in deciding who I am. So I often stop and wonder, did I make the right choice or not? That made me constantly feel unsure and uneasy from the other people that I'm not so familiar with. But turns out, as I got older, I realized that it was just little old me worrying about things that didn't even happen. I know this feeling of feeling unsure and uneasy about myself all the time. And trust me, it does not feel good. What if other people feel the same? What can we do about it? So I started to do some research on this topic, discovered some links to the problem. I also found out several solutions that I'll be sharing in my talk today. Just think about it as if we're gazing into the true self of those affected teenagers. So let's get into the whys. From the neuroscience perspective first. The amygdala inside your brain, which is responsible for emotional regulation, can make teenagers emotionally vulnerable to social judgment and peer feedback. But there's no need to be afraid. It's totally normal. It's just how your brain processes. The amygdala is highly active during adolescence. Also, the hormonal changes that occur during adolescence can make teenagers even more sensitive to how they're perceived by others. These factors, unfortunately, are factors that we are unable to change. Then, let's take a look at the psychological perspective. Well, it's this period in which teenagers dislike the fact that people, including parents and teenagers, are comparing with others. For example, and just as an example, well, most Chinese mothers that I know tend to compare their children with others. Now, when I was still in elementary school, I had this elementary school classmate. Now, she was really good at all her academic scores, scoring very high. And my mother was like, why can't you be at that class of yours? She has such good grades. Look at your grades. After hearing this, I felt sad, a little depressed. Am I not good enough? Why is my mother comparing me with others? Did I not work hard enough? So many questions in my brain. But as I got older, I realized that I was just entering this period of sensitivity. A period in which other people the same age as me probably feel the same. Popularity, respect, looks. They want themselves to shine brighter than they already are. And it is also in this period in which some teenagers might have crushes on other people, so they start to care about their crushes' feelings and thoughts more than they do care about themselves. So as time goes by, we start to doubt ourselves. We start to lose confidence. We don't get that much concentration in school, get poor grades, and even worse, ask ourselves, are we good enough? We fear embarrassment and judgment, so we won't want to do the things that we used to enjoy. Now, I had another elementary school classmate. He was once very optimistic and open. But ever since his parents started scolding him on tiny little problems, like having fruit crumbs on his chin, or spilling some ink drops on his workbooks, he just wishes to please his parents so that he'll not be scolded anymore. He now has a lot of stress when going to a place where there's a lot of people. He's afraid that he might make one small mistake, people stare at him, say negative comments. These are symptoms of OCD, short for Obsessive Compulsive Disorder, which is a mental illness that affects the mind for a long time. People who suffer from OCD usually experience uncontrolled obsessions and compulsions, which they feel forced to repeat all the time. Obsessions are the thoughts people repeat in their brains over and over again, such as urges, intrusive thoughts, and images. Compulsions are the repeat behaviors that people with OCD have. So, back to my classmate. He's afraid that other people will comment on him, saying things like, "Look at that careless person there. He's already in grade 5 it seems, and he still needs his mother to take care of him." So, teenagers like my classmate will feel isolated in society and become more frustrated on more problems, leading to even more mental health issues, such as anxiety and depression. Now, let's put you in his shoes. If something like that happened to you, what would you feel? Humiliated, right? So now it is time to help those teenagers. I have 2 specific solutions. Well, firstly, give positive feedback, not just criticism. When you tell teenagers something they're really good at, it helps them increase their confidence. When helping a teenager and improving at something, it is important to give positive feedback and not just tell them what they did wrong. So instead of saying, "Hey, you didn't do this right," try saying, "That was good, try something new." It helps teenagers know that they're on the right track, even though they haven't really mastered it yet. Sometimes teenagers don't know how awesome they really are. Something my dad often tells me. So if you know something they're really good at, whether it is singing or dancing or simply just being kind to others, tell them. For example, you can say something like, "Hey, I saw your art design from my poster last week. It was awesome." That can make teenagers know that maybe I am really great. The alternative solution is to start proactive, friendly conversations. You notice them denying themselves. Start a conversation with them. Now let's play a quick game here. I have 2 choices in which how you can start a conversation. Choice number 1. "Hey bro, are you okay?" Choice number 2. "Hey, what's wrong? You feel stressed." Well, obviously the answer is choice number 2. Because for choice number 1, firstly, it's not serious enough. Your friend is having trauma. But also secondly, it's obvious that they're not okay. What you should do is try to open their minds and guide them. Now let's take a look at what teenagers should do. If you feel like you're one of those uneasy teenagers, now's the time in which you can listen to my advice. Well, personally, I think the solution that works the best is talking to others. It is okay to ask for help. Nobody's perfect, and we all need help sometimes. So it is perfectly fine to talk to somebody about the things in your mind that you are unsure or afraid of. You can talk to somebody you trust, like a friend, parent, or teacher. When you talk to them, they might be able to let you understand that all the good things about you that you might not even know yourself. For example, you might be really good at making people laugh. So when you talk to them, you'll be able to feel better about yourselves. When you talk to someone, that can make you gain more confidence because you don't have to handle everything all alone. Plus, you might learn something from their advice. Remember what I said in the beginning? I used to lack these confidence myself. Now that is where my mother comes in. I mean, yeah, she's kind of strict sometimes about my academics, but overall, she's a really nice person. I still remember having a conversation with her, telling her about the thoughts in my mind, telling her about the problems I face. And trust me, even though it is really hard to try to spell out, but once you did, you understand that there is always more solutions than problems. So now, since we gaze in, now let's gaze out. Out of those teenagers' minds, back to the society in which we live and belong. We have those teenagers seeking for help. We, as those people, should never be too late to lay out a hand. Also, if you're one of those teenagers, just chill. There will always be somebody out there that you might be able to just listen and spill your heart out to. Don't be afraid and just be who you are. That's what my mother always says. So remember, give positive feedback and start proactive, friendly conversations. Thank you.